Have you ever thought about what it would be like if your spouse were to leave first? It's something that most couples don't want to think about, but it's one of the most certain realities of life. The truth is, we often avoid facing it because it's hard to imagine a world without our loved ones. But the reality is, one day we all have to face it. In this video, we will talk about 5 regrets that many people face when their spouse dies first. These regrets come from everyday choices, the small things we forget to say, the moments we take for granted, and the hard conversations we put off for another day. But here's the thing, the good news is, you can avoid these regrets. You can still make changes while you have time, and you can live with fewer regrets and more love. As you watch this video, I encourage you to think about your own relationship. Are there things you wish you could say more often? Are there important conversations you've been avoiding? The time to make changes is now. Think about it, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. Point 1. Not expressing enough love and appreciation. One of the deepest regrets many people face after losing their spouse is realizing how many loving words were left unsaid. Over the years, it's easy to fall into a routine, handling day-to-day tasks, dealing with family matters, or just getting through the day. But in the process, we often forget to say the simple things that matter most: I love you, thank you, or I appreciate you. It's natural to assume that our spouse knows how much we care, but words have a power we often overlook. They aren't just sounds, they are ways of showing love, confirming our feelings, and creating stronger emotional bonds. Without them, even if affection was always there, something important feels missing. When your partner is gone, you may wonder, did they truly know how much I loved them? That feeling of uncertainty can stay with you, and it can be hard to let go. Think about it, have you ever thought about how often you say, thank you, for the little things? Maybe your spouse always made your morning coffee or took care of something around the house, but did you ever pause and truly appreciate it out loud? Take the story of Robert, an 81-year-old man who lost his wife after 55 years together. He shared that the hardest part wasn't the arguments they had, but the little moments of care that he never took the time to thank her for. He realized that he never told her how much her morning coffee meant to him or how much he appreciated her small acts of love. These are the things he wished he had expressed while she was still here. The regret of unspoken love teaches us a simple but powerful lesson: love must be expressed. It can't just live in our hearts, it needs to be spoken, shared, and acknowledged. Every time you thank your spouse for something small, or take a moment to tell them, I love you, you are not just making their day better, you are protecting your own heart from regret. The words we say today are the comfort we carry with us tomorrow. So, I want to ask you, have you told your spouse lately how much they mean to you? Don't wait for tomorrow to say the words you might regret not saying today. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Let us know how you express your love to your partner and how you plan to keep doing it more often. Point 2. Avoiding difficult conversations. Another regret many people carry when their spouse passes first is the conversations that were never had, the tough topics we often avoid. Whether it's discussing end-of-life wishes, finances, or healthcare decisions, these are things that can feel uncomfortable to talk about. But the truth is, avoiding them doesn't make them go away. Instead, it leaves the surviving spouse to deal with confusion, uncertainty, and guilt when the time comes. We often avoid these difficult discussions because we don't want to upset the other person. We don't want to admit that life isn't forever. But here's the thing, love isn't just about enjoying good times together. It's also about preparing for the hard times. And when we don't have those important conversations, the surviving spouse is often left with so many unanswered questions. What would they have wanted? Did I honor their wishes? How should I handle this situation? Think about Elaine, a 78-year-old widow who lost her husband unexpectedly. She didn't know where their important papers were, what bills needed to be paid, or even what kind of funeral he would have wanted. Everything felt like guesswork. And though she did her best, she always carried the fear that she might have let him down. This uncertainty weighed heavily on her long after the initial grief passed. The lesson here is clear: having these conversations isn't about being morbid, it's about ensuring peace of mind. When you openly talk about your wishes, your partner has the peace of knowing that they don't have to make decisions on their own. It also removes that burden of what if that can make grief even harder. These conversations don't need to be perfect, but they are important. I know these conversations aren't easy. But by opening up and having them now, you'll save both yourself and your spouse from unnecessary worry and regret. So I want to ask you, have you had those tough talks with your spouse? What conversations do you need to have today, to make tomorrow a little easier? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Point 3. Taking shared experiences for granted. One of the hardest realizations that hits after losing a spouse is how many ordinary moments you took for granted. The simple, everyday things that felt routine, like having dinner together, sitting down to watch TV, or even just talking about your day, those are the things you'll miss most. We think we'll always have another chance to take a walk in the park or have a cup of coffee together. But when the time comes that we no longer can, those moments that seemed ordinary become extraordinarily precious. In the rush of life, it's easy to overlook the joy in the small moments. Life can become so routine that we forget how fleeting it really is. The problem is, time doesn't slow down for anyone, and those seemingly insignificant moments are the ones we'll wish we'd paid more attention to. It's not the big vacations or the major events we'll miss the most, it's the quiet Sunday mornings, the shared laughter, the times you simply sat together in peace. Take Carol, a 74-year-old widow, who shared that she and her husband always promised to travel more once they retired. But time passed, and they never found the right moment to make those memories. Now, after her husband passed, Carol treasures the simple photos of their Sunday breakfasts, wishing they had taken the time to create more of those moments, instead of putting them off for some perfect time that never came. The regret of taking shared experiences for granted reminds us that love is about the little things, not just the big plans. The simplest moments, like holding hands or sharing a laugh, can become treasures if we pay attention to them. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of someday, but the truth is, today is the only day we're guaranteed. So ask yourself, are there moments you've been waiting to experience with your spouse? The walk in the park, the evening with no distractions? Take a moment today to appreciate what you have now, because these are the memories that will stay with you long after your spouse is gone. Share with us in the comments below, what simple, everyday moments do you cherish the most? Point 4. Neglecting personal independence and identity. Another regret many people face when their spouse passes first is realizing how much of their own identity was tied up in the relationship. It's natural, especially in long marriages, to become intertwined with your spouse's life. But when you lose them, you may feel like you've lost a part of yourself as well. This can make grief even harder because not only are you mourning the loss of your partner, but also the loss of the role they played in your life, and sometimes, the loss of who you were when you were together. It's easy to fall into the rhythm of being a couple, relying on your spouse for companionship, decision-making, and daily purpose. But over time, you may have stopped nurturing your own independence. You may have put aside your hobbies, your friendships, or your personal growth in favor of focusing on your relationship. While there's nothing wrong with being close to your spouse, it's important to keep a sense of individuality. James, an 80-year-old man who had been married for nearly 60 years, found himself struggling with loneliness after his wife passed. He had always relied on her to manage their social life. She was the one who kept in touch with friends and organized family gatherings. After she was gone, James felt disconnected, not only from others but also from himself. He realized that, over the years, he had neglected his own friendships and interests. Now, he had no idea how to maintain those relationships without his wife's help. The lesson here is that a healthy relationship is built on both togetherness and personal independence. It's important to nurture your own identity, explore your own interests, and stay connected with your own friends. This not only strengthens the relationship, but it also prepares you for the future, for the day when you may have to walk alone. So, I ask you to think about this: are you keeping your sense of self while nurturing your marriage? It's okay to have your own hobbies, your own friendships, and your own growth. In fact, it's a gift to both you and your spouse. Taking time for yourself doesn't take away from your love, it strengthens it. Share in the comments below, how do you make sure to keep your own identity while being deeply involved in your marriage? Point 5. Failing to repair conflicts or let go of grudges. Perhaps one of the heaviest regrets that follows the loss of a spouse is the unresolved conflicts or grudges that were never let go. Every marriage has its share of disagreements, frustrations, and moments of hurt. Sometimes, we hold on to anger or refuse to apologize because we believe the issue is too important or we think time will heal things. But the truth is, when a spouse passes, there are no more chances for reconciliation. There's no more time to make things right. When a spouse is gone, there are no opportunities left to say, "I'm sorry," or "I forgive you." And often, the things we argued over seem insignificant in the face of loss. It's not the argument that hurts, it's the fact that we never took the time to repair the hurt and make peace. The lingering resentment or silence becomes a source of pain that's hard to let go of. Take Anne, a 77-year-old widow, who shared that her last conversation with her husband was an argument about something small, a misplaced bill. That night, she never imagined it would be the last time they spoke. After his passing, that small argument became one of her greatest sorrows. It wasn't the bill itself, but the missed opportunity to make peace, to say, "I forgive you," or even just to smile again before it was too late. The regret of unresolved conflict teaches us that reconciliation is something we must practice daily. It's about letting go of pride, choosing to make amends when we're hurt, and recognizing that life is too short to carry grudges. The truth is, letting go of past arguments doesn't mean we forget the hurt, it means we free ourselves from the burden of carrying that pain. So, I want you to think about this: are there conflicts or grudges that you need to let go of today? Life is uncertain, and we don't always know when it will be the last chance we have to make things right. Take a moment today to reach out, make peace, and release what you've been holding on to. Share with us in the comments below, is there something you've been holding on to that you can finally let go of? Point 6. Not spending enough time together. One of the regrets that many people feel after losing a spouse is realizing how much time they spent apart when they could have been together. Life gets busy, and it's easy to put off spending quality time with the ones we love. Work, errands, family commitments, they all take priority, and we often forget to set aside time just to enjoy each other's company. When your spouse is gone, those missed moments can feel like missed opportunities. Take Ruth, a 79-year-old woman who lost her husband after 53 years of marriage. Ruth admits that in their later years, they spent a lot of time in separate rooms. She loved reading, and he enjoyed watching his favorite shows. While they were content, Ruth now wishes they had spent more time doing things together, even the little things like talking over dinner or watching a movie side by side. She realized that the time they had left together wasn't just about sharing physical space, but about connecting emotionally, doing the simple things that create lasting memories. Sometimes, we think there will always be more time to spend with our loved ones. But the reality is, time is the one thing we can't get back. What seems like a small moment today, a walk in the park, cooking dinner together, sharing a cup of tea, becomes a cherished memory tomorrow. It's the quiet moments, the simple gestures, and the everyday time spent together that we remember most. So, I want you to reflect on this. How much time are you truly spending with your spouse? Not just in the same house, but really together, engaging with each other, making memories. If you've been putting off time for just the two of you, don't wait until it's too late. Those moments are precious. Share with us in the comments, what are some simple ways you can spend more time with your spouse today? Point 7. Not forgiving yourself or each other. One of the most profound regrets that many people feel after the loss of a spouse is the burden of unforgiven mistakes, both the ones they've made and the ones they feel their spouse made. Over time, all relationships have moments where we hurt one another, sometimes unintentionally. These moments can lead to lingering guilt or resentment if not addressed. After a spouse passes, the chance to seek forgiveness or offer it is gone, leaving behind a heavy emotional load that is difficult to carry. Take the case of Edward, a 79-year-old man who lost his wife of 60 years. Edward admitted that, over the years, there were many small things he never let go of, things his wife did or didn't do, mistakes they both made. He carried the weight of these grievances for years, thinking time would heal them. But when she passed, Edward realized that he had never truly forgiven her, and he had never forgiven himself for the things he had done wrong. He wished he had let go of the anger sooner, that he had allowed space for peace to settle into their relationship before it was too late. The truth is, forgiveness is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves and our partners. Holding on to anger or guilt only weighs us down. It keeps us from fully embracing the love we have in the present and hinders our ability to move forward after loss. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means freeing ourselves from the emotional burden of the past. So, I ask you to think about this: are there things you're holding on to that need to be forgiven? Whether it's something your spouse did, or something you feel you did wrong, taking the step to forgive, both them and yourself, can lighten your heart and bring you peace. It can also help you focus more on the love you share, not the mistakes. Share with us in the comments, what's something you could finally forgive today? As we reflect on the 5, or 7, regrets we've discussed today, one thing becomes clear: the opportunity to love more fully, live more intentionally, and cherish the moments we have with our spouse is always within our control. We don't always know how much time we have, but we do know that the choices we make today, whether it's expressing love, having difficult conversations, or forgiving past mistakes, shape the future we carry with us. I encourage you to take a moment today, to call your spouse, say, "I love you," have that conversation, or forgive yourself. These are the moments that will matter most in the days ahead. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear from you. What change will you make today to ensure you live without regret? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Let's continue to grow and love with fewer regrets and greater peace.